Let us style our edit profile form. I'll do that quick. I don't really need you. Okay, so edit. Let's go to my pages. One thing I have to say is when you are using Bootstrap or the framework's Bootstrap, whatever, it does make styling a lot easier. But then again, if you make your own, then it's no big deal. One day we'll do like one of these. We'll just have a bunch of shit. I'll figure out if I ever want to. I mean, we're going to have to sooner or later because we're going to be doing a lot more intricate websites. Once I get the JavaScript down. JavaScript's just not my thing. I like pretty language. All right. What do we got to do? Edit your profile, that's fine. And we got to do something with the forms. Let's go edit user form, I think. Was that what I called it? Do I need you anymore? No, I don't need you anymore. Edit user form. Okay. And yeah, usually I do that. Let's go with 700 pixels. Margin 0 auto. I will also go edit user form input, and we're going to go margin bottom. I don't like it all scrunched up. There you go, that's better. But the button looks off. Hold on. Let me log out for a sec. Well, you see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to put spacing, and that's the way buttons look. I don't get what the problem is. Oh, hold on. Like, I'm not getting why it looks like that. There's something wrong here. Let me take a look at that button. Button? That's fine. Button type submit update. Double check myself. Button update. It doesn't. This and then the end. This form end. Button update. Am I doing it right? Yeah. End. I mean, I didn't put a semicolon here. I'll try that. It doesn't look, there's something wrong here. I didn't do anything with the buttons. I don't know why, but whatever. I'll just do whatever I guess. It must have been something in the styling that I did somewhere else, but it's not, maybe in the base, well, whatever. Okay, you can minimize, because I'm tired of you doing that to me. Let me go over to styling, and we'll say margin bottom. Just to give it a little bit more room. How's your room? That's better. Now then, what we want is we want the same thing we had before, where if you change the first initials, last initials, then it'll change the first name, last name will change the initials automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. And again, you can do it any way you want. You can do it any way you want. This is the way I'm doing it now because I want them not to have control over that. I don't need you anymore. Edit. ID, edit initials. ID. Do it, edit first. On, key up. Edit. Init, initials. Same thing with this. ID, edit last. On, key up. Edit initials. They really should, when it comes, I know that a lot of the frameworks are more based on their own language, but they really should put into consideration they really should put into consideration the idea that people are going to use JavaScript. You know, like they never implement that really. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing about frameworks in general, back-end frameworks that bothers me. It's like they never implement it. Like, there should be something, and maybe when I make my own framework, I could do that, where the PHP, the Python, whatever, it knows that you're going to be implementing functionality, and it should have, like, something to make it easier for you to implement JavaScript functionality. But it's almost as if value equals edit first dot substring 1 edit last dot substring. I always felt that, and I mean CSS is CSS. You don't have to worry about that. We don't need this anymore. We know it works. Now, I could have just put the main in there and then named it the same thing. Like, name all these the same IDs, but we'll do it this way. That should work. I could open this up. You'll see. Make sure this JavaScript works. So right there. So if I hit enter, I do that. And I go, let's get back in there. And I go, okay, and I go like this. Doesn't, hold on. And initials is not a function. Hold on. Let me just double check. But yeah, for some reason, the JavaScript just seems to be off with this one, with Cake. Pages.js is there. This is pages.js. Function. That's in there, right? This is why things take forever. On key up, edit initials. Let me change the name of this. Let me change the name of this. Edit init. Yeah, that's why it's because it's calling it something that looks like a. Let's try that. Let's open it up again, and we'll just double check that it works. I kind of had a feeling that was gonna cause trouble. Okay, what's your problem now? What do you mean it's not a function? It's right here. Hold on. Yeah, I think I gotta change this ID. But I'm not sure if that's the issue. Let me just double check something. No. Let's do my usual. On function alert fact. So I didn't want this to waste my time. There you go. All right, so I know that the JavaScript page is there. So what do you mean it's not a function? Try that again. It should be changing the value here. There we go. Okay, so now we know it's working. That works, that works. Everything should be updating fine. How much time did I waste on that? 11 minutes, all right, whatever, I'll deal with it. But the problem again is the image. Now the issue that you're gonna run into with the image is that because when you use the form, and again, typically I make my own forms. The problem with making your own forms is that the CakePHP is very rigid, as I've said before, in its building of forms. So you kind of need the form helper. You can sort of not use, but then the way to configure it is just so, I mean, I've done it, but it's just so, they make it like, for association, everything, you need to use the form helpers. That again, there are things about this framework I like it, but I'm not in love with it. And I'm used to Laravel and even CodeIgniter, which is well put together. It's just it gives you a lot more options to do things on your own. We have to name this edit image because if we put profile image to reflect this, it is going to take a file and put it in a varchar. And doing that is going to make a mess. It's going to come up with a whole bunch of errors. It's going to tell you something about it can't be named or whatever. It's just a pain in the ass. So we have to rename it and then just get the value of the image itself. And the manner in which, and I'm going to need my notes for this one because it is just batshit and it's insane. The manner in which we do, first we got to do if this request is, and now it's not just post, it's also put, meaning that we're editing it. At that point, now we're going to then have to change the name. We're going to have to get the, let me get rid of this. We're going to have to get the name. See here, we're going to have to rename the variable. So we're going to have to put all this in the variable. So we'll go edit user equals this request get it. We're going to get the whole thing. We're going to get everything that we're updating. Now, if you're not using images, and for something like this, I don't really think you need to. It's just something I'm trying to show you in case you want to use Cake for something like this. If you're not going to update images or whatever, then don't even worry about this. Then you just make the form. We'll do the custom edit, and you'll see. It's so much easier. But after we get that, we're going to have to now get all this pick data. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to go, I'm going to call it edit img. And it's going to be, the reason why we broke this down is now it's a variable and we can just get edit image, I think I called it, right? No, we're going to do it this way. We're going to get every last bit of it's edit image, right? Of this edit image file information so we can break it down. And the reason why we're getting the data as a whole, so now we're going to say img name equals edit image, and I think I have to put it in a, yeah. Get client file name. That's it, right? Yeah. But I don't need, this is lowercase. what we're doing is we're getting the name of the file. And then we're going to call image type, and that'll be edit image get media client media type. This is going to give us the opportunity. Let me just spell that right. Client name, client media type. Yeah. Okay. This is going to give us the opportunity to, because again, the image is not required. And we want to make sure that it doesn't update everything without an image. Like we want to make sure that it doesn't update a blank image. That if you update it without an image, it'll just update and keep the image the way it is. So we say if image name, and you could say if image name does not equal blank or whatever. Now we have to go through an image check. And within that we go if image type does not equal, does not equal, what was it again? Okay, so if image type does, do I want to do the not, if it's, it doesn't matter, it's just the way you, matter what you do it. Or image type equals image, you can put whatever ones you want there, PNG, or image type equals image JPEG, or image type equals image BMP. You can even do image size, whatever. And there is a way you can put this in the table to do table checks. It's a little bit more intricate. Now we're going to go through else. We're going to have this flash error that is not a valid fact. The problem with this is we're going to get 2 flash messages. If you upload something that's not an image, you're going to get 2 flash messages. And it's going to update everything else. If you can live with it, I can live with it. But now that we already, and what time are we on now? 17, okay, we'll do it. I don't think we're going to get to customers today. Now we're going to have to see all this crap. This is the way that Cake reads these things. We'll go image path equals, this is the way Cake moves things to new files. www root, which is a PHP global variable, blanks, what do we call this? It's the file. So it's the image. It's the root of the website. It's the folder, which is image. .ds, which is also a global variable. Users ds. That's like division or something. And then the image name. We're making the image path. We're looking at the image path. We're making a variable where we start at the root, we go to the image folder, then we do a division, then we go to users, another division, and then the name of the file. After that, we now tell it, which one was pick again? We now tell it, see that edit image? Let me see. Let me just make sure I have this right. We now take the edit image object and we move to the image path. This is going to tell, when we hit the update, that if there's an image and it's valid, put it in that image path, this image path, the one that we create here. Next, we have to update the user profile. Come on. image, we have to make the image name. This way, because as I've said, actually, hold on, we have to go now, wait a minute. Because this is what we're loading it into. Users. We're loading it into that file. Like when you go to when you're calling the profile image, you want that to have the file name so it can automatically reference the file. That's why we're doing it that way. Why did I put the I mean, I could if you want to just get technical, you just go like this. Concatenate it, who gives a shit. Just to be safe. Now that we know what to load it, now we got to change this edit user. We have to then enter in the I don't know why I did that. I'm just renaming it twice. It doesn't make sense. But whatever. Well, I'll do it because of, we got the edit user. That's what it is, right? User pick data. Yeah, that's what I call it, data. So we got the edit user, and now this portion of it, which we called edit image, I think, right? We're going to equal the name. And then we update this again. I don't know why I did that though. It doesn't, I don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, whatever. Right. So let me explain this. What you have to do, because again, it's going directly to the database. What you have to do is you have to get the data of the, this is to make it easier for you to keep doing all this dumb shit, but you get the data that is being passed through. And then you separate out the image, the edit image data, and put it in this variable. From there, you can get the name from the file object breakdown. You can get the file name of this and make that a variable, get the file type, make that a variable to do these checks. So then you say, okay, well, if there's a name there, then we know that there's a file there. Let's make sure that it's valid. And if it is, we move it to this path. With that, we move that whole thing to that path, and then we rename it so that it reflects the path. Then we get the variable, which is just the data itself, and change the edit image to the name, and then this way we can then update the image name to that. It's just so many steps that are not necessary to me. But then afterwards, once that's all done, we'll just go this request patch entity user, and we'll make this this request get data, and now it's more or less what we've done before. It's if this user's save user, then we're just going to give you a nice A nice flash, success flash. And then we're going to return this redirect to action, and we're going to send you back to your view, which got the user. Oh no, we could just go ID. And if it doesn't work, then it just pops off with an error message. But that's mostly for all the other stuff. Like if the first name's not right, flash error. That's mostly if you don't put in a first name, if you don't put in a last name, an email address, all that shit. And as I've said, we're going to get 2 flash messages. 26 minutes out. This is getting kind of long. Let's see if I change this. We'll keep that. And if I don't put in an image, yeah, something's wrong with this. Something's wrong with this button. I don't know what it is though. Let's see. But there's clearly something wrong with this button. Like it's just coming back here. What's going on here? There's something wrong with this whole input. There's something wrong with this form. I mean, there's a form there. I don't see what's wrong with that. Everything should be here. Yeah, you see, like this file is like the file and the button are the same thing. It seems like, or maybe not. No, it's a file type. Let me think. I guess what I'll do is I'll stop here, and I'll look at this on my own time, and then when I come back, it's going to be a few days. When I come back, I'll just finish this. So I will see you later. I will see you in a few days.